Welcome to your weekend focus for December the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th, 2018. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you, Tilly, for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Truly, thank you. Now let's turn to the cards. The energy is so extreme. We have a new moon happening. And, you know, I like being the positive person for you. You know, I don't want to give you a problem. I would prefer to give you a solution to a potential problem. So I asked the cards, I asked my spirit guides, I asked my angel to deliver that kind of message. So I do know that there is a lot of, you know, we got Mars squaring everything again, just like Mars squared the last full moon. Mars just won't give it up. And that's our warrior. That's us wanting to push forward. And Mars is aligned with Neptune, squaring the sun and the moon during the new moon energy. So expect over the next couple of weeks, not just today, for truths to bubble up from within. We have Mercury has finally just gone stationary direct again. Venus has just gone into Scorpio. Chiron, I think, is stationary direct too in Neptune. So my goodness, this is the last new moon of the year. And then we go into the solar eclipses, right? Boom, in January, when all that energy starts moving fast and forward. I think Uranus is the only planet that will be in retrograde when we do enter the new year. And I think within the first week, it goes stationary direct. So this is a new moon of, and we've been walking through the 11 energy for the entire year. Should keep shuffling because do I have the cards right in my hand? Yes, I do. So the 11 energy, it was to understand where balance was needed in our life. It was to cut out the things that are toxic in our life, negative in our life, take away from the balance in our life. And that could have been within, internally, could have been behaviors and habits that we formed, ways of perception, or it could be on our outer worlds, our environments, where we live, how we live, who we live with, who's part of our clan, our tribe, who is our friends. And the planets have all been retrograde this year at one point or another. So we have walked so many paths of revisiting things, re-examining things, realigning ourselves, understanding certain parts of our path a little bit better, taking on new habits, new opportunities, new behaviors, new friendships, new relationships, new ways to take care of ourselves, maybe in health and fitness, new educational forums, whether it was a mentor or you took it upon yourself to self-study or you signed up somewhere and got the diploma or working on it, travel. So this is the last new moon, and it moves us into that 3 energy of 2019. And if you do the numerology for the 7th, it's a 3. Now, it's a little different because the numerology actually adds up for the day for the 21. And when we go into 2019, it'll be a 12 going into a 3. So a little bit different, but the end result, the higher octave, is the 3 energy. And what is the 3 energy? The 3 energy is about fertility, growth, expansion, creativity, your spirituality, group ventures. We'll cut the cards. I won't keep going. But know that, and you know, the final full moon of the year will bring in a lot of closure to all the things that we have been working on this year. So don't feel that you need to make decisions very rash because it's the last new moon and I've got to plant these seeds. But understand that when the full moon comes around, the final full moon of this year, we will see where the completion finally is in our life. Let's get to the cards. Look at this, Four of Swords, rest and recuperation. Talk about our warrior energy. Because it's, you know, typically I look at this card, well, I better get this out of the way first before anything else. When it is in the first position, watch your health. Take care of yourself. It's vitally important throughout this weekend that you take care of you before anyone else. Don't risk take. Take your time. Don't rush. When we rush, we get sloppy. When we get sloppy, we have accidents. So just take your time. Allow for enough time for everything that you want to do. Take time for you. Now, typically, this card is the warrior coming off the battlefield, hanging up his armor, his weapons, and laying down and starting to heal, to recuperate, recharging one's battery. And also during this time, it is about the focus of your tomorrow, because your tomorrow will not represent your yesterday in any way. As far as the warrior is concerned, a couple of buddies might have come back with you, but besides that, the world is changing for you. And are you ready for that? Are you accepting of it? Are you moving in that direction? Or are you still laying there with your armor on, still trying to figure out why you are so restless and uncomfortable? Or holding onto that weapon still? Sleeping with one eye open still? Do you still think that you are in the battlefield? So where are you picking the fight? Where are the fights coming at you? This is a time of rest and restoration. And really going within and accepting that you are entering, just accepting that you are entering a more beautiful time in your life. And knowing that you won't be able to walk any of it if you don't take care of yourself. We're sick and in bed. The world keeps moving. We can't. So we want to make sure that we are healthy, that we are full of vitality, that we are strengthened. So if anything for this weekend, let your hair down a little bit and find the laughter and the joy. And the things that maybe I don't say are funny, but what you think are funny. Maybe things I don't, or your family doesn't, or bring out joy and happiness in your world, but what you think brings out joy and happiness in your world. It's about you. Temperance. Simplify. What do you truly need in order to go forward? What are you hanging on to? What is that baggage that you still need to release? You're going into new moon energy still carrying around this heavy load, this heavy burden, this full plate. What needs to go? What is truly needed on your path forward? If you had to pack up and you were only given a backpack, you know, when my kids were little, we took them to this park, Algonquin Park, it's called. So, and all it is like streams and rivers and waterways and islands and I mean, so we went portaging. What a crazy family we are, huh? Little kids. Um, I think my youngest was 2, so 2, 4, and 6 at the time. We went portaging. And so I decided that what portaging is, if you don't know, it's you canoe for a while and then you throw the boat on your back and you walk for a while and then you get to water again and you have to canoe again. And we spent a week up there. I think we only did 6 days. I think the kids finally had it. The kids were snapping by that point, in a good way, I guess. But being so disconnected. But anyways, what I wanted to get at is everybody was allowed one backpack. That's it for the week. One backpack. What are you taking with you? And you have to make sure it's waterproof and weatherproof. And what foods are we going to take? Because once you got out there, you had to have enough food to make it. How are you going to start your fire every day? You had to take that too. And so, what would you take with you? If you knew for at least 1 week that you had to just go. Another example would be when I took my mom um, to a very beautiful and wonderful place where she is so intently happy. It's great. But I realized when I came home that, wow, I didn't need any of this stuff. For as long as I was gone, it was a month, as long as I was gone, I didn't need any of this stuff. I got by without any of this. So why? And I mean, I'm just talking about objects and stuff. But you might be looking at situations and events and people in your life. This is about simplification of your life, of what truly matters, of what truly is needed. Taking stock and saying, okay, and this is where I am right now. So how do I move forward? Maybe you're going to have a yard sale now because you're looking around and you're going, yeah, I don't need any of this stuff. It's just clutter. It's just energy. So how do we simplify our life and bring it into balance? Temperance is also ruled, it's ruled by Sagittarius, but it's also ruled by Vulcan. I always remember Vulcan because Vulcan was the blacksmith of the gods, and my dad was a blacksmith. So say no more. It sticks in my mind. And you know, it's like tempering, and we've been talking about this, haven't we, for about a week? I don't think quite 2, maybe close to 2, but the tempering of the steel, the tempering of the iron, of taking that hard, cold bar of just, it looks like nothing, and imagining what you want to do. You are the bar. You are that bar of steel, that iron, that strength, that raw strength, that raw courage that lays within. And temperance is asking you to start to forge, to be honest with yourself, truthful with yourself, or live in your truth of what makes you happy, of what brings you joy. This isn't the easiest new moon to walk through. In fact, it's probably one of the hardest since I think I've been here 5 years now, guys. So thank you. Thank you for everything. So how are you, you're going to put that iron, you're going to put that steel into the forge. The flames come up. It heats it. And you wait for that steel, that metal to turn to a certain color. Boom with the hammer. Boom with the hammer. So yeah, there's discipline, there's commitment. You can hope all you want, but until you take that hammer and start actually saying, yes, I'm doing this. I'm going forward in this direction. I'm not going to have that habit in my life anymore. And then discipline coming in and courage. It takes a lot of courage, and sometimes it takes a lot of self-sacrifice because we really like that part of our life, but we know it's not good or healthy for us, perhaps. You know, the Two of Pentacles, here we are. We're making decisions. We're looking, well, we're not making decisions with the Two of Pentacles. We're usually looking at how to bring in the balance. Twos are kind of an imbalance, right? And we got, you know, got a little bit of balance, but we could still be pushed one way or another. It's not a true balance with the two. So here we are, and we're holding up both pentacles in our hands, and we're so both different journeys. We could stay where we are. We can move forward in this direction, maybe move forward in that direction. Maybe we want to move forward in both of those directions and veer out a little bit more. Maybe we are looking at broadening our horizons. And there's two ships coming in, so these are beautiful choices. Now, which one is going to serve us the best? Maybe this job pays more, but this job allows me more creativity. Maybe I'm learning more about the subject over here, but they're actually doing it, and I learn better hands-on anyways. Or maybe I just get lost because those guys are way ahead of me. They're already doing. I need to study more. Now, it is in detriment, right? Because I'm going to take 5 cards here. It is in detriment because it'll be the middle card. 5 cards total. So we could choose not to weigh out the options. We could just say, let's go for it. This is probably the only new moon where I'm going to tell you, do not plant certain seeds yet. One, Mercury's just come out of retrograde, right? Stationary direct. Now, when Mercury comes out of retrograde, it's a time for new information to come in, new perceptions. Something's revealed to us that was hidden before. So we really want to kind of wait on a lot of that. Well, big decisions, huge decisions. We need to make sure that we have checked everything off. We have looked at all ways. No knee-jerk reactions, okay? Be careful about that. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is back again. Broadening your horizons. We're looking forward here, but we haven't really put those wands, you know, I'm kind of seeing this card lately as putting that wand in a bow. So pretending it's the arrow. And obviously, we don't even have it so that we can pull back the string yet. So another reason we don't want to jump forward too fast. We really want to think it through. Where are we aiming? What are we aiming at? What are we truly going for? Does it match my truth? Does it match who I am? Will it truly bring me joy and happiness? Or will it be just for a moment or two and then everything else is still there, left to deal with? And I really never looked at the real issues all along. The Hangman, the 12 energy. How fitting is this? 21, 12. We need to, you know, this is a beautiful card, okay? Because we're not struggling here. A lot of times he's on the tree. A lot of times he's in the position of the number 4. Either his arm or his leg is crossed over for the number 4. It's usually the leg, but I have seen the arm. For the number 4 and wanting the balance. And not having the balance and needing to think things through in order to bring in the balance. Pay attention to your intuition. The birds there are bringing messages to you. They're bringing in the balance. And, you know, look at the waters underneath us. Are they clouds? Are they mountains? They look more like mountains to me, actually. The water goes right to the mountains. Try getting clear enough that you can see it. So the water is, and we're hanging above it, so we're safe. Maybe our hair, the tip of our hair is getting a little wet to remind us that it has a lot to do with our emotions. And our water, I mean, you got Chiron, you've got Neptune, you've got Mars, all in Pisces there. There's a ton of water energy, right? Oh, and don't forget that Venus is in Scorpio. And Venus is our love, right? So, pay attention to that too. Is it something that we love is really not healthy for us? Or maybe we are so into it that it's kind of taken over, and very simplistically, maybe you like chocolate, and chocolate's a good thing, but if you sit there and you eat a pound or two a day, it's not good for you anymore. And so we need to break that habit. We need to change that behavior. But we might really, really, really like chocolate, and I don't really want to give it up. And yet I can't see a way forward unless I quit cold turkey, and I can't do that because I love chocolate too much. So where do I go for this balance? How do I change my behaviors in a way that it's okay to love chocolate but not have it as my only vice in life, that it's my total focus? And maybe it's your kids and all the focus goes on them all the time. Well, you need to turn it back on yourself a little bit, or maybe on your relationship with your partner, or maybe it's your relationship within the community or in the workplace. Maybe you love your job, but there's that one guy at work that drives you nuts. And under this kind of energy, you could just say it out loud without, that's the knee jerk, right? And that's just going to make everybody uneasy, right? That's just going to create a bad situation. It might need to be said, but let's choose our words carefully. Let's understand how we can get our message across and still maintain that balance in our life. Or maybe you just have to say, okay, you know what? That guy is always going to be like that, so I'm going to discipline myself. And when the bubbles start to rise here, as I hit the boiling point, I'm going to talk to my coworker and I'm going to say, if you just start seeing me, I don't know, starting to straighten my hair a lot, like, or straightening my shoulders or something, distract me so I don't react. Because that's not the way to deal with things. And then you understand how you can bring in that balance. What route you can take. Maybe it's working up a friendship with them. Maybe it's going for that promotion or a job somewhere else that even allows you more capabilities, or maybe having a private conversation with them. Or maybe they just move away because you're surrounding yourself with mirrors facing outwards all the time. So how are we handling? How are we handling our angers or our frustrations or letting go of the past? Realizing that the past gave us wisdom, but that is what we need to center ourselves in order to go forward. It's not about beating ourselves up. Because you can come off, the battlefield as a warrior and feel really rotten about some of the things that you had to do. And it tears at you because you're back in a different world, right? We may look back and say, oh, I did something wrong in this relationship and that's why it all fell apart. Well, no, that might have had something to do with that. Well, it takes two to make a relationship. And it takes friends and families as your support team. So where was all of that? It wasn't just you. Maybe it was just you. Oh, wow, you learned. It's time to move forward. Let's get an affirmation card here. Okay, what fell out here? Two, three cards. Okay, they picked. Well, we have the Two of Air. Two of Air. Been popular. We have Call. And then we have the Queen of Water. Came out too. So we'll do them in order. Two of Air. Another two energy. A new energy. This is a time to really think about the seeds that you want to plant. Stalemate, uncertainty, considering options. Time to take a break to consider my options and think about things. There is no need to rush forward. The perfect answer for the highest good will come to me if I take my time and remain in a peaceful state of mind. So how do you remain in a peaceful state of mind? You know, maybe you're going to that office party and that one person's going to be there that you know is going to set you off. How do you remain in that peaceful state of mind? What's your plan? How are you going to handle yourself? And will it bring in balance? Then we have Call. I love that though. Stalemate, uncertainty, considering options. You know, that's this card right here. We're considering the options. It's time to think it through, understand the priorities. That's also this one here, right? The perfect answer for the highest good will come to me if I take my time, if I meditate on it, if I reflect on it, if I remain in a peaceful state of mind. Call. Purpose and true prosperity. I have everything I need right now to move forward with purpose. I am being called into a deeper and more authentic relationship with myself. And I think that really sums up the year, doesn't it? I'm being called into a deeper and more authentic relationship with myself, with my higher power, and with others. I am here for a reason. I'm required to step forward in my true self, expressing that through my actions. I need to trust that my life has a purpose and that I am enough, and that within me is a divine blueprint that has meaning for myself and others. What a beautiful card that is. What a beautiful statement under such beautiful energy. Know that you are being called to a deeper relationship. Know that there is a true purpose for you. Know that the more authentic and true you can be to yourself, the more beauty that's going to come. Know that you are enough. Stop berating yourself saying, if I only could do this, if I only had that. You are enough right now at this very moment to move forward in the way you want. What's our last one? The Queen of Water. Compassion, emotional security, generosity, self-love, self-care, healer. I am comfortable in my own skin. I love, cherish, and nurture myself. I am the best friend to me. My relationships with others reflect my security in knowing I am always worthy of love and respect. I heal myself so I can change, so I can be the change I want to see in the world, and so my compassion can inspire others. I heal myself so I can be the change I want to see in the world, and so my compassion can inspire others. And you know, funny story. I don't think I shared this one with you, but one day I was out and about, and I dropped something, and this guy said something to me, and I said something, something funny probably just to kind of raise the spirit of the whole ordeal. And he started to walk away, and then he turned around. Oh, and then I dropped something, and he asked where I was. And I kind of popped up, and he says, I want to give you this ring. And it says, be the change you want to see in the world. It's engraved. So, and I wear it all the time to remind myself to be the change in the world. So, what can you do to have that little reminder to yourself that you need to allow some healing into your life? Absolutely. So that you can be the change you want to see in the world. So your compassion can inspire others. And we'll get an animal card here. And yes, because it is a new moon, we will get the Journey of Love cards out at the very end for those who enjoy that deck. I know I certainly do. The Journey of Love cards. And I think it's a beautiful time to actually look at that deck and receive a message. But first, our animals. And our animal is the skunk. Silence. So even though it's a new moon and we're supposed to get out there and plant those seeds, I don't really think this is the time to plant those seeds, but it is about strong contemplation over who you are, your strength, your beauty, this is a time to walk with honesty, with integrity, to let people see who you are rather than explain it to them. Meditate, quiet your mind, sense, respect, ego, and protection. Silence makes the real conversations between friends. It's not the saying, but the never ending needing, but the never needing to say that counts. If you have chosen Skunk, this message is for you to walk in silence. You may feel that in order to get through your situation, you need to act defensively or aggressively, but Skunk tells you that just walking in silence can be just as powerful, if not more powerful during those times. Those are extremely wise words to follow this weekend. You may feel that in order to get through your situation, you need to act defensively or aggressively. And it's just the opposite. You need to walk in silence. The skunk uses their odor to attract their own kind, and they use the same odor to repel those they don't want near them. Choose the proper energy that you want to put out into the universe in order for you to attract the right kind. You don't have to make a lot of noise to get what you want. You just have to review the situation and act with respect and a sense that in time you will receive. It isn't about ego. It's about confidence. So it isn't about, Skunk is very short and sweet to the point. You don't have to make a lot of noise to get what you want. You just have to review the situation and act with respect, integrity, honesty, and a sense that in time you will receive. It's believing. It's believing that you are stepping into the energy of the three. It's coming off that battlefield and truly believing that when you open your eyes, you'll hear the children playing in the park, the birds singing in the trees. You won't be in the war zone anymore. You just have to review the situation and act with respect and a sense that in time you will receive. It isn't about ego. It's about confidence. So, meditate, reflect on the messages of Skunk. Please do. Because Skunk summed up that energy so well for us. And of course, finally, the Journey of Love cards. 58. Beauty. And I always read the poem first. How many times I've looked in your eyes and sailed away beyond my dreams to a sheltered thought on a quiet beach where the sand is soft as flour. You may never know this place, and someday, when you look in my eyes, I will tell you. To celebrate the divine feminine is to honor her beauty, her endless bounty, and abundant creativity. You are a vehicle of her beauty. And guys, yes, you are a vehicle of her beauty. We have both masculine and feminine inside each and every one of us. This is a radiance that has nothing to do with soul destroying cultural stereotypes based on physical appearances. I rest my case. Um, it is the radiance that comes from feeling beautiful within, of allowing all that you are to shine through you and be witnessed in the world. You are being asked to let the inner beauty become one with your physical self. You don't have to change the way you look to become more of the divine beauty that you are. You just need to change the way you look at yourself. Behold the divine within you. You are in the process of healing past wounds about your appearance, your body, your sexuality, finding purity in all of you, and becoming ready to share that with others in a deeper, more open way, without shame, without self-criticism. Take your time and fall in love with who you are and what you are. Then you can become not the victim of others' own projected shame, but the love necessary for the shame of the world to heal. This oracle indicates a significant change in self-perception taking place within you. An ability to love and accept yourself more completely than you have ever before, quite simply because you have grown and there is more divinity awakened in your heart than ever before. The nature of the divine is love, and you are realizing that you don't have to change to be beautiful. Allow this development to grow swiftly and embrace your uniqueness, beloved. You are an exquisite flower in a heavenly garden. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.